This is the Stanley Cup playoffs on EA Sports. Son of Beast and Terry Crews here. This is the postseason of the NHL 25.
Hello everyone, Wood Spearney here, and I'm here with my next commentaries here for tonight's game at 7 p.m. And this time, I have it across, it's Greg. That's right folks, as we're getting ready to start things off, another Florida showdown is going to be the last one here for game number 5. And if the last team wins things all, they will move on to the next round to play against the Ottawa Senators. And for our first part of the game, between Tampa Bay or the Florida Panthers. These guys are only the two ones that are already tied in the series for 2. One for the Lightning that won in Game 2, and then the Panthers have already won Games 1 and 3. And it was 4 for the Tampa Bay Lightning. They've been trying very hard to make it try to go back into toward real. But it's only one change to make the finish. Will this be happening to make a win for the Lightning? Or will the Florida Panthers win this part of the game? And now, for my next commentary partners, I have one of our takes here, as this will be the last one to start things off. Boomer, he's also along with my next broadcast partner with Fan and the others. Will it be for the center ice, as this will be the next take in. Right now, I have it across as Willie, and the finishing off of this one, I have it across is Mike Sikorsky with the finishing on its own range in the center ice, and as Willie will be the third commentaries of the crew to get this thing started. I'm hoping that there's a great settling things in to show what's going on there, Greg. And I believe I would tell you, I mean, it's gonna be it. Last battle, and then the next one will move on. Now let's get this thing started here for the Florida Showdown. Panthers, Lightning, next on EI Sports. Final game, ready to start in Tampa Bay. One last Florida showdown moves on. Hey everybody, I am Boomer, and I'm here with my broadcast partner along with Fan, and the third commentary of the crew is Willie, and the center ice is Mike Sikorsky. I'll be able to join him from the center ice in just a few moments. But now, let the games begin. The final showdown is where it comes down to this. As he starts, it's Alexander Barkov, who will now send it over to Ekblad. Ekblad shot saved by Andrei Vasilevsky. They'll stop with over only 19:43 remaining in the first period. Now as they're ready to take that puck drop, there's no score in the game in Tampa Bay. Now Barkov wins the faceoff, he's off to Folsom. Folsom looks at Ekblad. Ekblad, Barkov shot saved by Vasilevsky. 19:27 remaining in the first. Get ready for next puck drop. Now in, for Alexander Barkov's steal. Now Ekblad will find part of Rakegi and change it over. Victor Hedman with the puck steal. He's over now to Jake Gutsa. Knocked him right toward it away. Rebound by Sam Reinhart. Reinhart will send a deep forward, now finding the Forslet. Forslet slips it in with a shot. Pat saved by Andrei Vasilevsky. He'll send a fire deep pass. Point on its way toward the rush. Move around, stop, saved by Bobrovsky. He'll hold things in with under 19 minutes to spare in the start of the first period. And this one was the closest range that they were trying to.
Yeah, this is what I was really noticing before. When Braden Point, he used a lot of attacking. That was just way much gas. With the stamina that he's been putting the prep in, the Energizer's not really going to make a change, but it really has to be like it's not all that anybody takes. But when they realized that they could try to keep that zone from coming back out, they just got to really keep on energizing in, keep the right amount of speed. It's the hard work that they do for it. There's nothing that they really change it in. They could try to be able to do that one that time. The Lightning and the Panthers are really like a hard team to do for since 2020.
Now there's a chin over. Now finds it over to Matthew Tkachuk. Matthew Tkachuk's right toward in the wing. He'll fire that one around the net. Again, to Stan Bennett. Bennett swings it over to Nikolov. Now finds the Goldkopf again over to Rodriguez. Rodriguez will swing it to Nikolov and give to Goldkopf. Goldkopf shot saved by Andrew Vasilevsky. Now back over, now finding the Stan Bennett. Nikolov shot, and he scores! That will be the first big tipper to start Game 5 for Matthew Tkachuk. First goal for the Florida Panthers. Now he gets his 5th goal in the playoffs. Look at the target ranging. That's what happens with Will on a great move, and that changes off the big tipper. You're changing it off with Matthew Tkachuk, and that's the first part of the goal to have that one tipped in. That's the Panthers as they really start off their first goal in the Mully Arena. There's no change to that. Nothing was sticking out right toward its way, but until that, it's going to make it our change-off effort. Nothing stays perfect. That really makes the first goal in for the Florida Panthers. Here's Bogas who will fire that one around net. Now finding the loose terrain. Loose terrain in Volinsky finds Schmidt. It is off to Bogas. Bogas looks to Volinsky. Volinsky, Schmidt, fires it. Save up by Vasilevsky. Rebound by loose terrain. Volinsky finds Schmidt. Schmidt gives to Lindell. Lindell finds Volinsky. Gives to Lindell. Over now to Bogas. Bogas shoots. Saved by Vasilevsky. And that one kicked it over to Bogas. He's going to give it back to Schmidt. Schmidt fires Bogas. Stick lifted. Recovered by the Panthers. And now the Volinsky's will have it. Over to Lindell. Fires it. That's blocked the shot and rebounded by Braden Point. Ryan McDonough sends it over to Eric Cernax. Cernax. Into a wing. Fires it. Saved by Bobrovsky. And Bogas will send to Schmidt. He'll give it again. Now finding again to Forsling. Forsling on his way down in the Tampa zone. Finds Verhage. Verhage gives a look to Schmidt. Finds it to Reinhardt. Reinhardt swings it over. Now finds the pass to Schmidt. Looks to keep the ball pucking around. Verhage will now give it over again to Forsling. Forsling shot saved up by Vasilevsky. And now goes into the Forsling. Gets it to Reinhardt. And Lindell will have some change. Now behind the net will be Verhage. And back to Forsling. Moves the puck around. Keeps it moving.
Florida goal, his first goal of the game, 5th goal in the playoffs score by number 19, Matthew Tkachuk. Assisted by number 77, Nico Mikula, and by number 9, Sam Bennett. So with a goal, 1:52 remaining in the first period. That's Matthew Tkachuk's first goal of the game, 5th goal in the playoffs, assisted by Mikula and Bennett in the first period at 1:52 in the playoffs.
I don't think no one was giving that one that hard direction block. That big change was really like going to be off target.
Indeed so.
They really have to get like back on effort. They just really have to like keep moving it still. They have its own first unique. And that goal won't budge the matter if they do for first take in. Now the wing. The fire shot stops in as Bennett will have it back. Bennett's on his way down. Off to Tkachuk. Off to Kulikov. Kulikov sets to Rodriguez. That pass broken up as Abel will now give it over again to Pervix. Pervix knocks him down. The rebound by Sam Bennett. And Rodriguez cuts in motion. He scores! Evan Rodriguez with the cut and play motion. He'll have it up with a 2-0 lead. It's Evan Rodriguez, and that great change is putting a nice look at the goal. This chance effort for Evan Rodriguez is giving that a great setup dish. It's right passing toward the goaltender. He really makes it a nice, comfortable way to have its own timing right. And that one was a great use of his skill when you have that one weaving from zone to zone. It was nothing, but they ever chose it. Was that first goal? They give that one a great chance to have the Lightning, but it's for the Panthers as Rodriguez gets his second. That will be his first goal in the playoffs to start things off. Yeah, I would indeed so. I mean, I would imagine that it would be just like that, but they won't be budged to matter if they get things right out of the way. For some big reasons, It will be hard to remember things, but not for long until Kolikov and their teammate keep passing it more.
Now Kolikov will swing it over to Wheeler. That was off to Gakovic. Lost that one. Now Jorgensen takes it over. And here's Hedman. He'll swing it
Florida
across.
goal, his first goal in the playoffs. First goal of the game, scored by number
Pumps it over.
17,
Now
Evan
rebound by
Rodriguez.
AJ Brewer. He will save it
Assisted
again.
by number
Joseph.
9, Sam
Joseph
Bennett.
swing down.
Time in the goal, 4:41
Rebounded by
remaining in the
Leighton.
first. That's Evan
And that's
Rodriguez,
off.
his first
That
goal of
puck
the game,
scaled
first goal
out
of the
of
playoffs,
zone.
assisted by
And this
Sam
will be
Bennett
icing
in
on
the
Florida
first period
Panthers.
at 4:41 in the
14:27 remaining
playoffs.
in the first period. They'll be ready to get a next puck drop. Now they're off again to take the next puck drop. And they're ready to take things on. Now to win. Here's Listerine. Listerine trying to pass over again to Bovis. Bovis knocked him down. That was a big hit by Hedman. Ooh, that one was really like a hard spill afterward. This really must have maintained it. They're trying to pull it out. Now Mikola has it again, Dozic. And that puck is sailed out of the zone. Here's Ferguson. Rolling it in. Mikola finds the pass to Bovis. Bovis with the spin move. Pass to Forsling. Forsling shot. He scores! E2 Listerinen. That'll be his 2 goals in the playoff game. And it's now a 3-0 lead, Florida. Well, that's what happens when they only take in that E2 Listerinen. That's the part of the setup goal. And where this came from was a deflection. It was right off and ricocheted from the pipe, and then right in the net. It was a big knockoff for Florida Panthers to knock it going. Now to win gear for the Lightning, as this will give Nikita Kucherov and Sam Bennett will have the pass to Forsling. Oh, almost a downward tour in the wall. Point, pass, middle, stopped by Bobrovsky. 13:31 remaining in the first period. They'll have their next playoff on their face-off coming up in the Florida territory. Sam Bennett wins the face-off as Forsling is off now to Matthew Tkachuk. Matthew Tkachuk looks to Rodriguez. In change. Bennett was saved by Vasilevsky. Only 13:20 remaining in the first period. Long of the line
Florida goal,
period here.
the second goal in the
As we already
playoffs,
passed
first
the
goal of the
5-minute
game,
mark in the
scored
first
by number
period.
27,
It was a 3-0 lead
Listerine.
for Florida Panthers.
assisted by number 42, Gustav
Sets the
Forsling,
point.
and by
That's
number
off
70,
Kucherov.
Jesper Bogust.
Kucherov loses
Time
the
in the goal,
angle.
6:15 remaining in the first period.
Try to kick it out.
That's 8-2 Listerine, his second goal in the playoffs, first goal of the game. Assisted by Forsling and Bogust in the first period. 6:15 in the
Now to
playoffs.
Rodriguez. Rodriguez. Over now to Forsling. Will send you pass to Tkachuk. Tkachuk. Swings and pile by Barkon. That blocks the bait here by Vasilevsky. Only 12:44 remaining in the first period. Nuns are ready to take the next puck drop. It is a 3-0 lead, Florida Panthers. As the will put it in for the Lightning, and here's Hedman right over in the way. Knocks him down. Reinhardt takes the Brady Riggy shot. Glove save by Vasilevsky. 12:45 remaining in the first period. As we get nearing the midway mark of the period, I will have Mike Slavkovsky giving us a little bit of a back plan here for Alexander Barkov. Thanks for talking in for Alexander Barkov. He was really one of our big takers on its own use advantage and his skill. But one of the Finland teams is not always the person, and he's making it look huge on their harder games on their own. The bigger takes it is how hard it gets for the Lightning that they've been choosing often for the Alexander Barkov. It's been given it for the Rakoff on their own side. The name of it is playing in for Alexander, the king of the captain for the Florida Panthers. The last time he was able to win this one was the Stanley Cup Finals over the Edmonton Oilers in game number 7. We're hoping to see you with a great victim here if anything has changed. I'll find out about Alexander Barkov if he has his own goal, which stays in. Guys, now here's Sagal right toward into it. Knocked him down. Florida Panthers had another hit. That'll be their 10th. 11:45 remaining in the first period. That puck is stopped. Gagovich with the rebound. Gagovich now rolls to Greer. He'll give it over to Gagovich. Passes off to Nosek. Nosek fires that shot. This is wide. Gives it over to Radich. 11:15 remaining in the first period. Jumps the puck in. The rebound by Forsling. Forsling goes right toward the bang. And here's a chance over. Kachuk takes things out. Now finds over to Rodriguez as he looks to Forsling. Forsling pass to Bennett. Bennett rolls in with the pass. Give over. Rodriguez shot saved by Vasilevsky.
He was really too close to the goaltender and was not looking off that comfortable. Looks like that is really hard to get over it.
Big save here by Bobrovsky. He'll set it over. Now finds to Forsling. Now he will find Sam Bennett. Sam Bennett. Pass to Forsling. Forsling. Off to Rodriguez. The Panthers are back in the Lightning territory. And as Vasilevsky will cover things in with only 10:28 remaining in the first. Nearing the midway mark of the period, the Lightning trailing by 3. They still need to look for a goal to get in. Now as the win will put it in for the Panthers. Here's Lindell. Shot saved by Vasilevsky. Now it's rebounded by Listerine. A shot saved by Vasilevsky.
They really have been staggered out. Vasilevsky got a great timing use of his energy. That's a contortionist that they're putting in with some easy wild saves, plus the butterfly effect. This really is giving some tight twister to put it in with some big chain off Wade. This is really what happens with most people that they really give on to Bobrovsky a harder time. Most of the favorites can be a lot challenging that they choose for.
That point will set it over to Peter Kucherov. 9:45 remaining in the first period. Makes a mess. Now back to Kucherov. Shots blocked. Kulikov takes over to Greer. Greer will set it to Lindell. The Lightning are back in the offense zone. They'll fire it up and around net. Off to Greer. Greer chance. Looks over to Mikola. And here's Greer. Greer shoots. Saved by Vasilevsky. And Lindell back to Mikola. Here's Greer. Pass to Schmidt. Schmidt back to Mikola. Gives back to Lindell. Lindell. Lost that one. Schmidt find a pass to Gagovich. Avoiding a spill on a tackle. But there's some broken change in the shot. It's a big save. Misses wide. What a great stop by Vasilevsky. Oh, that Vasilevsky was almost going to be out of the way. That one really felt like I thought this was going to be a miss if you get that goal in there. That one was really close. Gakovich shot saved by Vasilevsky. 8:45 remaining in the first period. They'll hold things on to get ready for the next tough drop in the Lightning territory. 19/13 was the Lightning biggest hit. Panthers wins the faceoff. Valensky shoots. Blocker save lead by Vasilevsky. And it's rebound by Nosek. Tommy Nosek off to Schmidt. 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 Gakovich finds Nosek. Nosek looks over to Greer. Greer is back over again to Schmidt. Back to Nosek. Fires it. Saved by Vasilevsky. And that one will win you out. That one was a smash by Nosek. Schmidt fires it. That's saved by Vasilevsky. Now a chance to Moser. Just 8 minutes remaining in the first period. And he knocked him down. Nosek. Fans still want some reaction here. And Reinhard will regroup again to Malinsky's. And there's a chance now to Gakovich. Get off to that biggest hit. Gakovich takes the puck over. And they're still going. Malinsky's. Moves that pass into Reinhard. Fires that one. That one goes off again. Barkov takes over. Shoots it. Trying to put it in. He scores! Sam Reinhard. A tip in on a rebound. That will be Reinhardt's second goal in the playoffs. Well, there's a lot of battle raging out, and this is where now this is third goal in the playoffs. This is what they seem to care for. That Vasilevsky wasn't even sure when that puck was flying. That one went by. It was not really easy when they were already been checked on through. Now Vasilevsky, he's a little bit dumped down, and he wasn't really thinking that he was not finding the puck right away. It seemed like it was a bad idea to try to look for it carefully. So the Panthers are now with a 4-0 lead, and it looks like they're destroying the Lightning. Remember they went there, they won in the first round as they played against the Toronto Maple Leafs back in 2022. Yeah, I definitely do so. I wouldn't believe on that. Toronto Maple Leafs definitely did beat against the Tampa Bay Lightning. They definitely are just putting it off with the worst. Hit-off storm was not really easy enough that they choose it again. That one shot's blocked. And as now Reinhardt will send it over to Aaron Ekblad. He gives to Reinhardt. Reinhardt finds Forsling with 7 minutes remaining in the first period. Then rebounds it up. Forsling will now give it again to Verhage. Back to Aaron Ekblad. One-time hit shot. Bad save by Vasilevsky. And on a chance to make ball. Pass broken up. Forsling will carry the Sanchez.
Florida goal, his second goal in the playoffs, first goal of the game, scored by number 13, Sam Reinhardt. Assisted by number 12, Jonah Gakovic. Topman to goal, 12:22 remaining in the first period. Sam Reinhardt, his first goal in the game, second goal in the playoffs, assisted by Gakovic in the first period at 12:22 in the playoffs.
Passes over to Kachuk. Kachuk looks to Ekblad. One-time middle, Nicola. That one is redirected. 6:15 remaining in the first period. This will get their next puck drop coming on the way. And now it's good so. Pulling it in. Block the shot by Ekblad. Ekblad looks to the over. And now it's good so. With a chance for Leafman right toward in the corner. Give it to McDonough. McDonough. Fast shots blocked. Rebounded up by Boves. It was only 5:50 remaining in the first period. There's a 4-0 lead. Panthers. Lustrina. Pass to Nicola. And it's Kulikov. That one slipped it. And Mitchell Chaffee will hand it over right in the other way. That one's South Fedorovsky with 5:34 remaining in the first period. Now to have a look on the other side of it, I will have is to keep one of our best goaltenders, Andrei Vasilevsky. Andrei Vasilevsky is one of our great takes in. One of the best goaltenders. They've been changing it often late, and for more likely though, it's definitely the great changes that happens with Mikkola on their own change. But it's more likely of Andrei Vasilevsky as he really has this constructionist on his own type. This may be hard and makes sense, but it's more likely a harder playoff that they choose for Andrei Vasilevsky. It was more in a better, efficient way plays. They've really been doing it for so many years in the past that how long it was. But it's looking like that this might be like a hardest play-in match that they do for. And Andrei Vasilevsky is waiting here for a long time to play against Bobrovsky. And he's really been sure that he would be able to fix it up and get that at the same time. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with Andrei Vasilevsky. Hopefully his wild constructionist might be the next take in. Let's see how that happens, guys. Alright, thank you very much, Mike. And now we're heading back into the Florida Panthers zone. It is on 4-0 lead. That one! Oh, Barkov! What a crouch down as he has that one with his first block of the game. Now, I was never expecting that was going to change like that. Barkov got a great look block of the shot. That one is terrific to give that great start. Pushes the puck over. Here's Mikola's shot. Big save by Vasilevsky. And now off to Nikola. Kulikov decided not to take his time with a long stride. Barkov shots in. Saved by Vasilevsky. Back to Reinhardt. Reinhardt looks over again to Nikola. Nikola. Kulikov shot. Saved by Vasilevsky. Under 4 minutes remaining in the first period. They'll get ready for the next puck drop. now as they're ready to take their next puck drop, 28-11 is the total shots on goal between Florida and Tampa Bay. The Panthers win their faceoff. Now finds Kachuk. Back to Ekblad. Here's one-time Bennett, shots blocked, and he rolls him out by Victor Hedman. And Gonzalez sets over to Anthony Cirelli. Cirelli shoots, pass, save by Bobrovsky. Bennett will have that covered in, and now it's on to Aaron Ekblad with 3:30 remaining. Ekblad right toward the wall, and now a rebound by Sam Bennett. He looks over. Now here's Rodriguez. It's now to Ekblad. Ekblad. For the backhander, save play. This one stopped by Vasilevsky. 3:11 remaining in the first, and he holds it with steady and tight. That one is really like all that they can express on. What happens with Vasilevsky, it's a power play on his own hand with his own playoff goal and it's big playoff saves. There is no way that they really changed it often with Andre Vasilevsky. It gets intense all the way through. Bobrovsky's going to hold it in with under 3 minutes remaining in the first period. Now they're set ready for their next puck drop. It is a 4-0 lead, Florida. Now the win for the Panthers. Schmidt will give it again to Belinsky's. And a deep pass to Gakovic. Gakovic pulls a stop. Try to fix it with a rebound, and Belinsky's. Belinsky's looks over to Nosek. Schmidt fires that shot. This one's redirected. Down finds Point. Point going for it again. On man rush. Oh, bluff sacked by Bobrovsky. Only 2:34 remaining in the first. Now this is what happens with Bobrovsky. That makes it a nice set save. I really have to say that. What happens with Bobrovsky? He's like dialed in for the breakaway and their energy. That's crazy. Mikolov now finds Kulikov. Kulikov impacts to Mikolov. It's back to Kulikov. Lindell, shot, redirected. And rebound by Lucharini. It's back to Mikolov. And here's Bobas. Backhander, this is wide. Lucharini. Still looking over to Mikolov. Give to Bobas. And back to Kulikov. Kulikov. Mikolov. Lindell shots blocked. Looks to Kulikov. Finds Lucharini. Now gives to Lindell. Lindell to Kulikov. Looks to Mikolov. Pass back and forth. Rebound by Bobas. Panthers still getting it back. And here comes Luke Lebanon. Over to Mitchell Chaffee. That one's plays a save here by Bobrovsky with only 1:41 remaining in the first. A lot on the line here. 108 over 558 in the first period for a timeout. There's the win. We'll set the fourth win. And here now back in the Lightning territory for 8. Barkov looks to Aaron Ekblad, finds Reinhard. Reinhard swings it over to Barkov. Looks off to Aaron Ekblad. Reinhard gets a rebound. Now it looks off. That's stolen by Paul. And now here's Ferguson. Ferguson now gives to Cernax. And rebound up. That one pulls it in. There's a chance on a shot blade. That's
1 minute remaining in
now
the first
period.
period.
Reinhard with under a minute remaining in the first. They sure enough that they really haven't just done anything. And with that, they just have to get that own goal and change off. They just need someone else to give that a nice energy stack. This stack up is going to be really hard for the Lightning to prepare for. And here's Cernax. And here's Kutsel. 1-on-1. That one poked it up. 30 seconds remaining. That poked it up again. Rodriguez. Now is off to Rodriguez. Back again to Matthew Tkachuk. He fires over around net. And he can't get it off in time. And it's now rebounded by Cernax with under 13 seconds remaining. Here's chance in. That one poked up for the Lightning. And Lundell. Across the line is skating the zone. No straining. Time running down. Should save by Vasilevsky. And that'll do for the first period. 4-0 is the score. Florida Panthers up by 4. Second period coming up after this. We are back in this Amalie Arena, the most famous arena in Tampa Bay, as we're about to start the second period. And we are back with us once again. We're here along with Fan and, of course, one and only Willie here from St. Louis. It's great to have us back here, and we're ready to get started for our second period. All right, guys, I know what you're looking at in the range. The Tampa Bay Lightning has been trying to do a terribly start in the first period, but let's see what happens with the second period if you guys have any thoughts about it.
Well, they've really been trying to hurt it off really well. This is simply the hardest played matchups they've ever been facing these. Sometimes they just don't play it optimally that well. And what they don't do is, this is the only first 4 goals that starts out with the Panthers. Just that. It's just only the first 4. There were the 4 goals in the game in the first period. It was not really seeming like it was going to be ripped off for some reasons. But now that, they really have to be playing it afterwards to give that one a good chance. That shot for Vasilevsky is definitely kind of hard. Remember the last game? He was staying tall. He just kicked it out. Just had a little bit of view off the cart. And there's not really much that you can do about it. This really happens with most of the guys. And they really been kept it up for some weird part of the goals in the range. I'd really like to be seeing things if they could just try to keep this up on the goal. Hoping that the Lightning will get on the board.
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, I could say that the Lightning definitely did not have any record on this foot to try to beat things over. The last time they definitely did this, they won 2 games in this one for the playoffs in the first round. The first one was the Maple Leafs on this rematching point. And positioning, it was the last postseason that they played against the New York Rangers. It was not very easy enough, but this is really what they all expected for in the NHL preseason of the year. The Lightning's definitely the better team to have it. But I think the Florida Panthers, they got enough of this this game. I think they might be losing to this one. So let's hope if there is any other change that can definitely get in the way. I know it's going to be hard for them to keep on scoring, but let's see what they do. Well, thanks, guys. Really appreciate it with that. As we already passed the 18-minute mark in the second period, this was not very easy enough for Panthers to score it in. They wanted to try to shut them down in Tampa Bay. Now that's a big hit over here in the center ice.
Yeah, you can definitely hear that. I hear the thunderous loud noise here. And I think the Florida Panthers are in the loudest arena. They're definitely going to get macked up and get flumped around. I don't know how they're going to do this, but Vasilevsky really has to get over this done to make the right timing go for work.
Those are set ready for our next puck drop. 88% for the Lightning and 84 for the Florida Panthers. Tommy Nosek wins the faceoff. Leon finds Schmidt. Schmidt looks over to Gankovic. Polinsky off to Greer. Greer will slip it around the net, and Schmidt's right toward behind the net. Back to Gankovic, again to Polinsky's. Polinsky slips to Gankovic. Gankovic cuts him down lane. Backhander, blocker saved by Vasilevsky. And there's Cernax is right in the way. Out of the Florida Tampa Bay territory is McDonough. In the Florida territory, here's Point. Point, try to wish it off with a shot. And that was off of Aaron Ekblad as he rolls it in. Cross story to get it, AJ Greer. Greer holds the pass. Nosek shot, saved by Vasilevsky. What a diving play it makes. And this one will stop him with under 17 minutes in the second. And if you're ready for our next matchup, the Kings and the Oilers are the ones to be as they're coming back to Los Angeles for the last game. That coverage will start at 9:30 p.m. So be sure to set your calendars down because it's going to be an intentional game.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's a rematch. It's going to happen again. So probably there might be a win off here. I think Connor McDavid is going to pull in with some great lucks on there. What are you thinking?
I'm going to say Connor McDavid this time. I mean, looks like he's a top Canadian overrated players. I mean, everyone's giving a good credit for it. And I bet that Aaron Ekblad and their teammates, I think they might be moving on to the next round. They're going to play the Ottawa Senators for the next game. In the second round, so I bet there is much time to get. Now Ryan Hart will set the pass to Forsley. Forsley Rolls the pass to Reinhardt. Fires it. Blocker save by Vasilevsky. Rebounded by Mikolov. Mikolov sets it over to Reinhardt. Reinhardt lost his effort, and there will be a slashing. That will be the first penalty on the Lightning.
Penalty on Tampa Bay. 2 minutes for slashing.
Well, Nick Fromix is really like giving things up. Last time he done it was at a later game, but now he did a mistake again. That's from Nick Fromix. He's not putting up a nice effort. This energy putting the crowd is bad idea. Nobody liked this call for the Lightning on the penalty. They're not sure if that is going to keep innings in. So that is a mistake.
Borgovich's team is down to a forced penalty.
Lightning penalty number 48. 2 minutes for slashing. Tubman penalty in a second period, 60-3 in the playoffs. Tampa Bay Lightning penalty on Nick Borgovich's number 48, 2 minutes for slashing. Tubman penalty in a second period of the playoffs, 16 minutes, 3 seconds.
I see that Nick Ferguson is able to carry that one out. It was the hardest and the cleanest match. It's not turning to be easy enough at all. What they don't talk about it is they don't talk about the toughest, the baddest of the game, how it turns, and this is really what they can't really do. They don't play it oftenly to get that one a good start. That's really going to be a hard take in for the Lightning. They've been pushing it out, and they're just trying to get back to the second round, and they haven't won a Stanley Cup here on the EA Sports thing, but the real thing is back in 2020 and they back-to-back in 2021, that was how it did. It really happens with anybody that can try to leave things off, and the flow game gap behind is bad and then worse. I don't know what's going to keep it in, but we'll see what happens with that if the Lightning gets it through. Lushurinen. Pass broken up. And as ball, he's right on the way. Ivan Rush on his way. On the board. Stopped by Bobrovsky. And it's stopped by Verganey. This time give back to Barkov.
What a great chance here for Nick Paul. He tried to use all of his speed, but he didn't seem like he was able to get enough use. This momentum is going to definitely change it off everything. And what they don't really see is that this is really what they all expected it for now. The Florida Panthers are really trying to give it all what they've done. This is what they really can do, keep that out. Here's a dish to Barkov, and that one is broken up. Ryan McDonough trying to rebound it. Now Alexander Barkov will try to reset it in with under 30 seconds. Aaron Ekblad with the puck, carrying it in. That's a deep pass to Barkov. Barkov will now send it over right to her in the wing, stops it. Knocks him down. That is a big rumble hit here. And Glennie will now give this over. This one closes up for Lushurinen. Battling for the loose puck. And it's back to Robert Goose. Ferguson's penalty time's almost up.
A give over. Lushurinen. Shot. Big save. Kicked out by Vasilevsky. And that will end the power play for the Lightning.
What a stoppage. I just loved it. That is a big to take. And he's been picking it out just like the last game of Aiden Hill. That was monstrous. The big blocker, and he denied that one here quickly. That was unbelievable.
Here's Bobets. Bobets shoots. Saved by Vasilevsky. Reinhardt will try to get out of the man zone, and we'll have to reset it again. 13:45 left to remain in the second period, as now Mikkola is behind the net. They'll send it over. Knocks him down. Mikkola with the rebound. Back to Gaktovich. Outside, open look. Kachuk. Here's another one to Kulikov on a shot. It is off on one of his players and knocked him in. Kachuk backhander. Save me by Vasilevsky. Edmund takes it over. And there's Gusel. Knocked him down. Forsling. Back behind the net. Rebound by Nosek. Nosek pass. Snaps down. With a stop by Bobrovsky. Here's Greer. Greer sets the pass to Gakpovich again to Nosek. Nosek delivers it and fires it, and it will glove up for Vasilevsky. 4-0 is the score, Florida. During the midway mark of the period, Sergei and Andre are definitely the top rivals of the goaltenders as we're nearing the midway mark of the period. Now it's Nikita Kucherov wins the faceoff. Here's Hermits. Hermits back on ice. Here's Point. Point for a shot stopped by Borowski. Bolinski sets it over to Schmidt. Schmidt now finds Kachuk. Big gets loud here in the arena. It's the Panthers' chance. Now Schmidt will set over to Rodriguez. Rodriguez knocks him down. No penalty on attack by Lightning.
Clean hit. That's clean. They really have to just choose anybody that can try to lead things off. Schmidt's got to work on it carefully.
Good snow with the rebound after a shot block. And he's on his way down. Pass to Kucherov shot. What a save by Bobrovsky. Unbelievable. That is a great takedown as he pulls it out. He rejected that one quickly. What? That was a bit concerning about the Bobrovsky. He really had that one slicking out. That's the biggest motion that everybody's getting it through. Here's point shot saved by Bobrovsky. And for the Lightning, and on full pressure, big stop here by Bobrovsky. The rebound by Point. Here's a set to Ferguson. Backhander saved by Bobrovsky. He'll hold the field with only 11:44 remaining in the second period. A lot on the line here. 43 to over 26 for the Panthers shot on goal. Barkov wins the faceoff as Kulikov will have it in. And the pass over to Reinhardt. Reinhardt sets a deep saucer pass to Bergegi. Off to Barkov. Here's the shot. Saved by Vasilevsky. Bergegi gives to Mikula. Mikula finds Kulikov. Kulikov loses it. Barkov takes it over. Will dash it around the net and rebounded up by the Panthers as Mikula will now give back to Kulikov. Kulikov to Reinhardt. Backhander save by Vasilevsky. He took that one with a big use of the head as Vasilevsky will give another clearing puck in to get ready for a next puck drop. There's a lot of time left for the Tampa Bay to score a goal, but it's still a 4-0 Florida lead. Extension for Blundell, now finds Aaron Ekblad, he will look it in. Victor Pepin takes it over, now finds Radish. That puck opens up. Victor Pepin with the takeout, and rebounded by Brendan Hagel. No offside for the Lightning. Hagel, broken by Lusharainen. He'll clear the zone, and the icing will be on Florida Panthers. And with only 2 games left to remain, the only ones that we have to take a first look here between the Eastern and Western Conference as the Capitals play against the Devils in the first game at Capital One Arena, and following along with the next game as the Jets take on against the Stars at Canada's Life Century. Both games starting the coverage here. The first game will start at 6:30 p.m. and then the second game will start at 9:30 p.m. Get your next games on, only on Son of Beast. And here's Lundell, who will start things, rushing right to it in the opposite zone. Now finds Greer, pass to Forsling, goes to Ekblad. Ekblad fires it, stop by Vasilevsky on a diving play. Oh, what a great change-up, and he puts it off. This is what I really been expecting it for. That's what happens with Vasilevsky. He's really giving that one a higher range. That is a hard drive. Polinski fires that one around across the wall, and Nosek gets back to Aaron Ekblad. We made it to the midway mark in the period, and it's now Gakovic, number 8 for the Lightning. Now Gakovic will fire that one around the net. Nosek with the rebound, off to Polinski's. Polinski's in the middle, Greer pulls it around, shot saved by Vasilevsky. 9:46 remaining in the second period. Florida Panthers looking to win the first round and move on to the second round to play against the Senators. With the win, here's another change over to Kulikov. Kulikov, driving through shot. Big stop by Vasilevsky. Unbelievable moment here in the Somali Arena as the fans are already showing up.
They couldn't get better and better afterward. I mean, that is unbelievable with the big save. I really have to see about Andrei Vasilevsky was putting on the nice use of the chain. That was marvelous that he chose.
Stop the play with only 9:22 remaining in the second period as they get ready for next puck time. Panthers have already won 20 in a row in the face-offs, over 15 by the Lightning. And we'll see if Barkov adds another one. And it's now point, there'll be 16 face-off wins for the Lightning. And it's right to Nikita Kucherov. Watches Kutsev. Looks to Cernax. Barkov watching on Cernax. The pass broken up, and this will be back to Verhage to Barkov. Barkov takes it back, now finds the game of Verhage. Off to Ryan Bartley, he looks to Verhage. Their team goes offside with only 9:01 remaining. with some editing skills here for the skit. It's coming back in as we are having another skit that's underway here soon. So you'll be determining because this one is where it sucks in with the VHS, and we are adding some special collaborations with some next plays on its own. We have one of our cast and one of our actors that definitely wants to join us in and show us what goes on. This may be a capture of its own VHS tape, and this will be in the 90s spot with some special effect to get right to the next one. So that will be coming soon, as Stuck in VHS is where Revenge puts it in. Don't miss out your next skit here on Son of Beast, and a new chapter is about to bring things on. We can't wait to see what changes on with the new skit of an SOB skit. Thanks to the new logo appreciation, could have done better with that. Now as Lindell wins the face-off, Schmidt takes it back to Walensky. Knocked him down, and he skips out of his own. This one gets back to Lindell. Lindell will set the goal rest. Victor Heppen will give to Izuma. 8 minutes remaining in the second period. Lightning still haven't found a goal yet, but they will do if they have an open room. Walensky stops the puck, now finds again Schmidt. Schmidt looks to Walensky, back to Lindell. Lindell looks to Schmidt. Here's Listerinen. On a shot, left save by Vasilevsky. Only 7:50 remaining in the second period. And now as they're ready to take their next puck drop, it is still a 4-0 game, Florida Panthers. Now as ready as we'll take things over, here's Hedman. Hedman gives it over to Paul. Paul finds Izuma. Here's a chance, moves around again. Big stop by Bobrovsky. On a shot. Rebound. He scores! Nick Paul. The rebound for today is now on the over the 4-1 game. Well, stay clear. The happy for Nick Paul. This is a big rebound and he's been bringing up. That's his second and now his third in the playoffs. Getting nice hit in. This rebound is really on the target line, and that one beats over Bobrovsky. It was not really clear enough, and they really reflect on pressure. That's a good goal to make it in for the Lightning. He did that with the fair start. Point wins the face-off. Only 7:30 remaining in the second period. They are on the board. It is a 4-1 game as Forsling's trying to handle it off. Now Forsling will have its own regroup. Sets to Bennett. Bennett races down back toward the other side of it, looking for another goal. Stop by Vasilevsky. Robert Goose takes it over. The rebound puts in by Forsling. Looks to Robert Goose. Deep shot and scores. Matthew Tkachuk. 2 goals in the game. They're back up by 4, and it's a 5-1 game.
Tkachuk, he adds another one. That's his 6th in the playoffs on his good deflection. That gets 2 in a row. When you look that pass, that's another great big tipper for Matthew Tkachuk. I love this play. This is trying to be one of the excellent fan favorites that Florida Panthers want to believe from Matthew Tkachuk. This is what happens. His new setup goal is putting a tricky zone, but now he makes a big tipper. That is a great range for Matthew Tkachuk to settle in for its next goal. I love seeing this one. This is a fantastic play. Matthew Tkachuk with his 2nd goal in the playoffs. With the 6th goal in the playoffs, 2nd goal of the game. He's looking for 3 if he gets another one. Forsling passes to Bennett. Bennett shot. Score! Big tipper now has his hat trick. It's Matthew Tkachuk. A shocking start. Well, you don't believe it now. That what happened with Matthew Tkachuk. It does it again. And that's it for Vasilevsky. He is done. Wow. No standout to make that close effort because the hat throws in for Matthew Tkachuk. He is delivering it, and he just finishes right with the deflection. That is the biggest play ever seen before. That's right, guys. I say that Carter Hagee was looking at Gustav Forsling. He's got a good key to get that one in there. More like a number before. Matthew Tkachuk is delivering a 3 deflection goals in the game. This is what happens now as this will be Johansson, the replacement for the goaltender. And now when he's done, Vasilevsky's season is finished. Looks like the new player is definitely going to be coming back in there for so long. And I bet that Matthew Tkachuk may be able to get that one in there. It was a great change.
I can't wait to see what this turns
Assisted
into.
by number
And
23,
for some odd reason, we really got to notice that Matthew Tkachuk has been practicing. But I think his next brother is going to be playing here with a different team. Brady Tkachuk. Can't wait to see this next matchup. I'll look for Matthew
Time of the goal, 12 minutes, 23 seconds. A sick ball, his third goal in the playoffs, assisted by Michael Isabel. And Sengis Gergensen in the second period of the playoffs, 12 minutes, 23 seconds.
If they have a chance here in the third period, they'll close this schedule down. Sam Reinhart on his way down. Fast break coming. Shot. And now it's a
Florida
big
goal,
save.
his
Michael
second
Hansen.
goal in the game, sixth goal in the playoffs,
Schmidt
scored by
lost
number
that
19,
one.
Matthew
Cirelli takes
Tkachuk.
over. 5:50 remaining in the second
Assisted by
period.
number 17, Evan
Brandon Engel
Rodriguez.
shoots a big stop here.
And by number
Bobrovsky
42, Gustav Forsling.
knocked him right through the wall.
Time of the goal,
Rebounded up by
12:46
Listerine.
remaining in the second
Now
period.
Reinhart will have
That's
another.
Matthew Tkachuk,
Knocked
his
him
sixth
down.
goal in the
Listerine
playoffs, second
passes
goal of the
over to
game, assisted
Schmidt.
by Evan Rodriguez.
Schmidt on
And
his way
Gustav
down.
Forsling in
With
the
a full
second
sprint.
period of the
Fires
playoffs,
them around
12
net.
minutes,
Has to get
46
Listerine.
seconds.
Listerine give the pass to Belinsky's. Now it's off to Bobas. Bobas looks to Listerine and backhander is saved made by Jorgensen. Lundell loses that one. It's back to Listerine. Listerine gives to Forsling. And now Lundell with the chance. Knocks
Florida
it right toward the
goal,
wall.
his third
Bobas
goal
with
in the game,
rebound. Again to
seventh goal
Listerine.
in the playoffs,
He's
scoring
really
a hat trick, number
aggressive
19,
quickly.
Matthew
There is
Tkachuk.
no time to stop
Assisted
it
by number 9, Sam
Really, he's
Bennett.
gonna make that one. Knocked
And by
out.
number 42, Gustav Forsling.
Now the rebound
Time
by
of the goal in the
Engel.
second
We'll do
period,
it again to
13:06.
Under 5
That's
minutes
Matthew
remaining in the
Tkachuk,
second
his
period.
seventh goal in
Runs
the
him
playoffs,
down.
third goal of
Now
the
the
game,
rebound
assisted
for
by
Lightning,
Sam
as
Bennett
this will
and
not be
Gustav
picked back
Forsling in the
as the
second
Panthers
period
take it
at
off.
13
Oh
minutes,
my
6
gosh.
seconds in the
This is why I
playoffs.
couldn't just believe it. He's really like, how in the world did you ever try to stop on someone? Oh my gosh. Man, this is definitely the big clashes afterwards. The Florida Panthers have been like trying to give it all. And they did everything that they can. Yeah, it's not really what I always expected here. Wow. Monstrous for here. Now it's another game here for the Lightning as they put a dish on that. This won't be another take in range to get that another goal. AJ Greer with 4:13 remaining in the second period finds Mikkola. Mikkola looks to Nosek. And back again to Bobas. Bobas. Gakovic from the corner. That one shot directed by McDonough. McDonough passed the ball. Hall lost that one. Rebounded up by the Florida Panthers. Bobas battling for the loose puck. In the corner. Gets it back to Mikkola. Mikkola enters back into his zone. And rolls around the net. Cernak takes over. 3:39 remaining in the second period. Glennon gets to Atkinson. Cam Atkinson's right to her in the way. Knocked him down. Rebound by Cernak. This gives a good tight squeeze here on a screen. Glennon gets back over. Victor Hedman shot. Big save by Bobrovsky. Bobas. Back to Mikkola. And now it's Brady Tkachuk. Sorry, Matthew Tkachuk. And now Reinhart. Reinhart shot. Save by Johansson. Bennett with the rebound. It's back to Belinsky's. Belinsky's. Rolls it in. Dishes off. Shots blocked. Rebounded up by Matthew Tkachuk. 3 minutes remaining in the second period. This will get back over to Barkov. Reinhart. Shot saved by Johansson. Oh, it looks like he did the same thing just like Vasilevsky did. Yeah, it looks like he did. I mean, I was not sure if that was going to be enough play call on that effort. This end is really like turning it like it was close. Now the rebound by Belinsky's. Rolls with the fin. Right around the net is Bennett. Bennett passes off to Reinhart. Reinhart pass to Bennett. Bennett fires it. Saved by Johansson. 2:27 remaining in the second period as they'll get their next face-off underway. 85-88 passing effectiveness going on here. And the Thunderbug is definitely on a lone spot. They're not sure what is going to change, but it seemed like it is going to be in for the Lightning. Until for that, they'll have to see what they can do for it. That stick gets knocked out. Rebound by Gusev. Good slick feed. Stops it, and this one stops on Bobrovsky. It's back to Schmidt, and rolls the pass around again. To Belinsky's again to Matthew Tkachuk. Rebounded by Gusev. Back to Bennett. Rebound by Schmidt. 2 minutes remaining in the second period. Back to Belinsky's. Keeps the dish over to Tkachuk. Good shot, right turned away. That's the barbecue shot. That's blocked. It's back over again to the Lightning. Tampa Bay back in the offense zone. Cirelli on a shot, left save by Bobrovsky. 1:45 remaining in the second period as we're nearing down the end here for the second before the third period. Now we're set, ready for our next puck drop. 6-1 Florida Panthers. Tampa Bay needs some more goals to get back in. Now the win. Shot save play by Bobrovsky. Now it's back to Listerine. Listerine the pass to Forsling. Forsling knocked him down. Rebounded by Lundell. Lundell can't get the puck rebounded. Now it's back to Listerine. He'll reset it again to Ekblad, and that finds Forsling. And Bovis will give it back over. Mikolas back on ice as the puck carries out of his zone. And back to Bovis. Bovis gets knocked down. Rebound by Gonzalez. Now it's Kulikov. He will say she's over. And back over to Listerine. Listerine and pass again to Lundell. Lundell loses it. Kulikov will now give to Bobrovsky as he will hand it over again to Bovis. Final minute in the second period as Kulikov is back.
Only 1 minute to play in the second period.
Dish around the net. Lundell with the rebound. Rolls off. Mikolas. Reinhardt with a shot. It's blocked. Lundell with the rebounding. Right to the walls, Kulikov. Back again. And Reinhardt's pass broken up as Hagel takes it over. 40 seconds remaining in the second period. Gunning motion will never count here, and it's Kulikov. He'll dish it back again to Reinhardt. Reinhardt. Pass to Barkov. Barkov. Pass to Reinhardt. Back to Barkov. Here's Schmidt. Schmidt shoots. Saved by Johansson. And they'll have their ready for their next puck drop as it's now 22 seconds remaining in the second. Now they're ready to take their next puck drop in. 6-1 Florida. Barkov wins the face-off as Schmidt will carry along the way. Burbix takes it over. 15 seconds remaining in the second period. Here's a chance. Finds Iseman. Iseman goes down. Paul with the shot. Score! 4 goals in the playoffs is for Lightning. And now 6-2 game. Just being a bus here was not really easy enough for Nick Paul. He really got a good dish off here. And basketball last week was not easy to get the chance. He really was coming in that shortly. And then this is what happened. That's another goal for Nick Paul. He has 2 in the playoffs. 2 of them for the game, and now he's 4 for the playoffs. He's really getting over this. Now Forsling has it again to Aaron Ekblad, as this will get back to Forsling, and with that, that's going to end the second period. Panthers with a 6-2 over the Lightning. It's do or die for the Lightning. Will they get back, or Panthers move on? Third period's next after this. You're watching the Stanley Cup playoffs on NHL 25 on EA Sports. It's the final period at Tampa Bay as we're ready to get things on to start the puck drop. Last period left in Game 5 as it's now a closest game to get to a finish as we're ready.
Penalty on Florida. 2 minutes for tripping.
Starting on a penalty will be on Florida as this will be a major tripping on Aaron Ekblad.
Yeah, that's the first penalty kill. That's going to be on Aaron Ekblad.
You're
Lightning!
Lightning!
Four seconds to start the third period. There was no exception of that.
No win. Here's Mikolas.
Florida Panthers penalty number 5. 2 minutes for tripping. Tottenham penalty in the third period. 19:56 remaining in the playoffs. Florida Panthers penalty on Aaron Ekblad number 5. 2 minutes for tripping. Time of the penalty in the playoffs. 19:56 in the third period.
Reinhardt out of here. For the backhand. Stopped by Johansson. This one rolls it over now, finding Forsling. And there'll be another penalty. That will be the end of the Lightning power play, as this will be a tripping on a hazard on the cross-checking. Yeah, you see the fans, they're not really liking this at all. That's very bad. Out of the timing is not going to kiss anybody.
Penalty on Tampa. 5 minutes for misconduct.
Now look what happened over here. This is a miscommunication.
That one knocked him over. And yeah, you remember this one before? Victor Hedman, he is out. And he's already done. So yeah, they're not really liking this at all. Yeah, I can definitely tell now that this miscommunication, Victor Hedman is out of here. He's definitely
Time penalty number 77. 5 minutes for misconduct in the game. Time penalty in the first period, 19:15 remaining in the playoffs. That's a 5-minute penalty for the Tampa Bay Lightning on number 77, Victor Hedman. Time penalty in the third period, 19:15 in the playoffs.
For one team for the Lightning, that one really had a bad accident at this point. He was robbed on it too hard, and the Florida Panthers were hard enough here that they just really had to knock somebody out, because that's where it just changes in. For 4-on-4.
Here's Sam Bennett, here's Schmidt.
Tampa Lightning goal!
And he's saying again, Bolinski. Here's Schmidt. Schmidt save.
Second goal of the
Back to
game.
Matthew
Scored by
Kachuk.
number
He sets to
20.
Schmidt. One time Bolinski shoots it, saved by Johansson. Now you're
Assisted by number 23, Michael Erzman.
Schmidt finds Bennett. Bennett
And
six,
by
looks
number
it. No bogey here. This one's back to Matthew Kachuk. Matthew Kachuk will fire that one around net.
Time in the goal, 19:52 in the second period. Nick Paul, his second goal of the game. Fourth goal in the playoffs, assisted by Erzman and Nick Forbes. In the second period at 19:52 in the
Now finds
playoffs.
Kachuk. Down to 10 seconds for a 4-on-4 play. Schmidt with the puck. Now has to begin to Bolinski's. And that will do for the Lightning on the 4-on-4 as the Panthers will continue this one as they already had that one penalized with under 6 minutes to remain. It's definitely how bad that was. And you know what? They don't really seem to what they would care for. When they don't seem to misfollow up their steps, it's not turning to be easy enough at always. This is definitely going to be harsh on the play for by Victor Hedman. And he's really not showing it off how it's done. That is really what they can expect to play this at their own cost. This is what happens with Florida Panthers. They are definitely disliking on the Lightning, and the Lightning disliking on the Panthers. Now to give over to Kolakov, we will say it again to Lustrina. Lustrina gives to Schmidt. Schmidt, Lustrina shoots it. That hits wide, and this one will roll out of the zone. Now the Lightning will have it here, as Radius will have it in the zone. Covered up, rebounded up by the Lightning, and Schmidt will have it back. Under 5 minutes for the power play for Panthers miscommunication from the Lightning. And now, this one will put it in to Alexander Barkov. He's back on ice, right behind the net. Trying to find an open man range. He'll now swing it over to Reinhardt. Reinhardt. The pass now for Lustrina. Here's Ekblad. Sets over to Barkov. Barkov. Brady shoots it. Save by Johansson. Oh, what a stop! That one is takes it out for Aaron Ekblad to try to push another goal on his way to make a 7-2 lead.
There was no obligation. I was really noticing that happens with Johansson. He really got that one with a beauty mark on that. Looks like Lightning fans are definitely going to be showing off with some surprise moment here for Johansson. And he's really taking it off, and he did.
Lustrina gives it to Ekblad, and this will now give to Verhage. 3:50 remaining in the power play for the extension of the Panthers. Verhage find a pass to Ekblad, now find Reinhardt. Reinhardt shots blocked by Radius. Good style by throwing away as we're nearing the 15-minute mark. Verhage with the puck. Florida Panthers back in the offense zone. And he's back to Aaron Ekblad. Ekblad finds Barkov. Barkov on his way down. Toward the middle shot. Stop by Johansson. He covers it up and back to Ryan McDonough. It was very close afterwards. That one was really like unbelievable. The big taking it was not really the easy way for Alexander Barkov to put it in the middle. That one was unbreakable to make the chain. Back it over again. The Kachuk is broken up, and as Bobrovsky, he'll hand it over now fighting against Schmidt. Now it's off to Forsling. Forsling sets the pass to Kachuk. Kachuk toward the wing. Knocked him over. Rebound by Cirelli. Now it's Cirelli with the turn. In towards zone. And now it's Barkov. 2:45 left to remain in the power play for the Panthers, and now Forsling will have it. Here's a fire shot range. Save made by Johansson. Schmidt shoots. Barkov shot stopped by Johansson. You'll hold it in with under 15 minutes remaining in the third period. A lot of a line here. Panthers are already gaining enough power play speed, but they still have the extension lead up by 4. Now as Lindell wins the face-off, here's Verhage. Verhage. Pass to Ekblad. Ekblad. Rolling in. Trying to make the shot. Big stop by Johansson. Oh wow, what a great save here as he tries to knock that out.
Yeah, I would have just happened to let that Ekblad was able to make that move around in there. That one was really like untake that he put it into the motion. His time on track was really great, and he's really like given all that he done for his own accomplishment. This wasn't really what they were expecting him to do, and they really had a nice takeout on their own end to have some number goals, and this is the slap shot range that they really have been trying to be doing for. They just really kept on going, and they continued their mission.
All right, now with only 2 minutes left here for the power play, as it's now in the regulation and power play after the extension for miscommunication. For misconduct, here's Lindell. That one escapes his zone. And Lindell will try to regroup here back to Ekblad. Big knockdown here, Bennett takes over. Here's Bennett. 2-on-1. Races in, saved by Johansson. Lustranen getting another goal here with only 1:35 left on the power play for the Panthers, and 13:51 was only the one left. 13:47 time on attack for the Panthers, and just only 1:47 for the Lightning. Barkov wins the faceoff. Rodriguez back to Schmidt. Schmidt with the rebound. Trying to get to Barkov this time to Kachuk, and this one goes back to Barkov. Rodriguez gives it down to Reinhardt. Up to the middle. Swinging a miss here as Barkov gets that one out. McDonough watching it outside here, and this will get back to Rodriguez down to Barkov. Down to 1:10 remaining for the Panthers power play. And he pulls that one with the knockoff. Schmidt takes it over. That one races around the net. And rebound back to Chuck. 1 minute left for the Panthers power play. Schmidt. That one gives off. Glennon takes it over. Knocked him right toward the wall near the Lightning bench. Bergensen trying to battle for the rebound. And Barkov sinks it out. Johansson gives it over, now finding again to Glennon. 40 seconds left for the Panthers power play. And Barkov will now give to Schmidt with only 35 seconds. Time's wasting down afterwards. They just have to get this thing trying to get that one backed on. If they don't have the right change, they have to do this one for correction or otherwise. They're going to get that one misconducted up to end it here, and this will be successful for the Lightning. Now Rodriguez sets it over to Bennett. Back to Lindell. 10 seconds left for the Panthers power play. Time wasting down. Lightning showing some surprise, and they had finally came back. And that is it. Panthers power play extension is over. Now back to a full string. After extension on the power play minutes, it wasn't easy enough that they really took it in.
Yeah, I know. They really have been like doing it so hard, and with nothing to really compare for that, they just had extension. They couldn't keep this thing going at the right time. I know they did for just the right amount of lack of effort. But great job by the defenders for the Lightning. They just kept on coming back afterwards. They really got a nice decent amount of points here. I love seeing this one change out for anybody.
Now the win here for the Lightning. And the pass over to Moser. Moser now finds Gutzel. Gutzel finds Point. Point. Kucherov shot. Quinn's great save here by Bobrovsky. Now Gutzel gives to Kucherov behind the back. Point in middle. This one chips it out and rolls back out of the zone in the blue line. And now it's rebound by Nosek. Nosek will have it over. The give over. Greer shot blocked again by Moser. 11:20 remaining in the third period. Jake Gutzel right to the wing. Make new line change. Nikita Kucherov shot stop made by Bobrovsky. And Kolokov will have it again. Attempted to pass the zone to Carter Verhage. Verhage. Give to Mikula. Mikula shoots, saved by Johansson. That one knocked him down. Kolokov keeps it alive. The late penalty is going to be on the Lightning. That's going to be a cross-checking. And now that Michael Isabel is in the penalty box, he's finished. Well, not done yet. It's only one. I mean, that cross-check he put it in the Kolokov, he knocked somebody over, that is very bad looking. Like the Lightning are definitely not changing at all. When they don't really do it oftenly, they can't get that one, maintain it. All that pressure doesn't really come along with that. And the Lightning's definitely having a hard time to get that one a short handoff. And it wasn't turning into a combination at all. Another win here for Barkov as Rodriguez sends it over to Schmidt. Schmidt, Rodriguez, Barkov with the shot. Knocked him down. Rebound by Reinhardt. This will get back to Barkov the other way. Here's Cernak, that pass broken up. Barkov will on the back. Now back to Schmidt. Gives to Rodriguez. Rodriguez, Barkov, deep shot. Easy save here by Johansson. Good shot. Shoots, glove save by Johansson. 1:30 remaining for the Panthers power play, and you're in the midway mark in the third. Panthers have the 6-2 lead. Now they're set, ready to take the next puck drop. Panthers up the extension by 4. Now the win, here's Cernak, and sets it over to Hagel. Hagel carries it out, and coming along will be Lundell as he will send a pass to Schmidt. Schmidt, deep pass to Bennett. Bennett, toward the middle. Shot saved by Johansson. 10-11 remaining in the third period. Still getting the next face-off underway. And now they're set ready to take the next puck drop. 109 for the Lightning and 66 for the Panthers. Now here's the win. Rodriguez sets to Schmidt. Now finds Rodriguez. Rodriguez with a shot, Lundell. Can't get it to go. Rebounded up by the Panthers. And Rodriguez, Lundell shot. Too much draining. That one up and over the net. It's back to Ruddy-ish to Danny Bergensen.
Well, there's a lot of reaction afterward. I've really seen that Johansson was doing it so well. And with that, I never seen anything like it was going to change it oftenly. Because that was a great on a goal. I wouldn't know anything about the whole life, and they just have to believe on. Johansson kept it out, everything that he had chose for. I wasn't really sure about it was going to be a denying effort, but that was really like a wicked play awesome. I love the energy.
Here's Rabiggy. Tries to give over. Barkov with the pass, broken up by Bergensen. Poked it up, can't get it to go. With the shot, blocked save here by Bobrovsky, and it's back over now to Kachuk. Now, here's out by Reinhardt. Swings it across, moves around. Give it, go to Ekblad. Back to Cernak as the puck takes over. Bergensen moves on in, now finds Lenin, loses it. Shot save on Bobrovsky, and down to 8 seconds. Ekblad finds Kachuk, and he'll set it out of the zone. And that will end the power play for the Panthers. 8:58 remaining in the third after an icing. Well, this is what they really can't really do. To be honest, in my opinion, that was what they already been talking it for, and they just couldn't get off to a right shot. The moment it takes, it doesn't really make that huge difference. It just kept on playing back at right target. This amount has been turning like it was all over from the line, and definitely they did it again for another day. There is no perception to make that one percentage, and that passing was then a hard one for the Sharks. This is what they really have to do to keep that one for the Watchman from going. Ryan McDonough pass broken up by Gakovich, and now finds Barkov. Barkov finds Greer. Greer on a rush. Shot, save made. Rebound and scores! Gakovich picks up another goal for the Panthers. And now it will be Gakovich's second first goal in the playoffs.
He joins the party to rebound for tonight here, and that ricochet was right off the pipe. And right behind by Johansson, that's another goal for the Panthers. They really are knocking down the Lightning team. They were not surprised, and they really have been choosing it all. Afterwards, there was no exception to that.
With that play, it is now a 7-2 lead for the Panthers. They knocked down the Lightning in the first round. It was not easy when they changed offense. With the give and go look, stopped by Borowski, and he now is swinging to Greer. Greer on a fast break, stops it in. With the shot, shoots it, saved by Johansson. 8:11 remaining in the third period as they'll hold things up and get ready for our next puck drop. Now as the win for point.
Florida goal, his first goal in the playoffs. Scored by number 12, Jonah Gakovic.
Point.
Assisted by number 10, A.J. Greer. And by number 16, Alexander Barkov. Time in the goal in the third period, 11:32. That's Jonah Gakovic, his first goal in the playoffs, first goal of the game. Assisted by A.J. Greer and Alexander Barkov in the third period at 11 minutes, 32 seconds in the playoffs.
One down. Back to Nikola. And here's Kolakov. That shot's blocked and rebounded by Nikola. Back to Listerine. Kolakov in middle. Gutzell takes it out. Now in the zone. The pass broken up by Nikola. Nikola pass again to Listerine. Listerine to Lundell and gives it to Bogas. Takes his time. Off to Smith. Smith shoots. Saved by Johansson. 7:12 remaining in the third period as we're getting closer to the 5-minute mark in the third. Folks, if you're ready to take your next game in, get your bell on because the last part of the game will be the Oilers against the Kings. My next commentary partner I have it across here is Terry Crews, and he's also along with Test Tube on the other side of it. And the third commentary of the crew I have is Son Beats. He's also here with us, and the center ice will be Wood Spoonie to keep these eyes on. I will be having a big moment here for our final part of the game of game number 5 of the first round. And then once that's complete, we'll move on to take the first look for the first 2 games of the Devils against the Capitals and the Stars against the Jets in game 1. Now here's Rodriguez. He'll give to Smith. Smith gives to Rodriguez. Rodriguez passes again to the shot. That shot saved there by Johansson. Back to Rodriguez. A lot of fans here. Panthers trying to roll in to upset the Lightning. Bennett. Here's Kachuk. Kachuk shoots. Pat saved by Johansson. He's kicking it up with a great extra attacker, but he's still not quite done. Walensky. Pass to Berhage. Berhage. Pass to Schmidt. Looks to Reinhardt. Walensky fires that shot, and that one is off the skater, and it goes up the netting on a play. A bit of time left in the period. Florida has been a better team, and it's a 7-2 lead over Lightning. Now for the win for Tampa Bay, as now this will be ready as she gives it over to Isamel. Isamel finds Ryan McDonough. McDonough pass to Gurgison. With the shot glove saved by Bobrovsky. 5:52 remaining in the third as we're nearing the 15 on the mark, the pass play in the third period of regulation. And now they're ready to pick up the next notch. It is a 7-2 lead. The win for Barkov. He will send it over to Ekblad. The pass to Forsling. Forsling gives to Reinhardt. Reinhardt gives to Berhage. Give and go to Reinhardt. Off the pass to Barkov. Barkov. Backhander. This is wide. Reinhardt with the rebounding effort. Back to Forsling and now gives to Ekblad. Ekblad finds it again to Berhage and now to Forsling. Forsling shot blocked. Stop by Johansson to cover the puck in. Ryan McDonough with the rebound finds again to Gurgison. While the fans are still here, they're still not sure if it's going to be enough time to get through. Knocked him down. Rebound by Reinhardt. And Forsling will have a chance here. That one keeps his own, and Renish gives that out. Back to Gurgison. And now for the Lightning in the Panther zone. Back to Forsling. Ekblad will have a chance. Here's Gachovich for 2. Off and shot. Saved by Johansson. This is what I really say about Johansson. He's really not special. Make the goaltenders proud, and more carefully, this may just be hard enough to get that one through. Indeed so. I would see that Johansson was really give that one a great change. Anyway, he is good at it. We passed the 5-minute mark in the third period, and it's now presented by Discover. Now here's a change to Nikola. Nikola. Right down. Back to Chaffee. Chaffee. Gives up and over, now finally to Atkinson. Shots blocked by Noza. Off to McDonough. Shot saved again by Bobrovsky. And Mikola sets to Greer. Greer. Pass to Noza. Noza in the middle. Fires it deep. Can't get it to go. Chaffee is back to Ryan McDonough. McDonough pass again to Point. Point. Gets a little spin move, but the fire shot blocked this again by the ricochet off one of his skaters. And Kulikov passes it again to Matthew Tkachuk. He has 3 in the playoffs. He might be catching 4 of his night. They are one of the best out there playing for the Panthers.
Yeah, he's definitely so well. I mean, I could just say that he was really been dominated. Just the whole life that he just been really kicked it on through. Coming back afterwards, doesn't get that one easy pretty much that far.
Bennett will have the pass over, now finding again to Valinsky's. Now Tkachuk will have it. Stick lifted. Finds Rodriguez. Again to Valinsky's. Cuts in motion. Saved by Johansson. Rodriguez with the rebound. Over down to Bennett. Schmidt shot. Blocked. Rebound by Schmidt. Save made by Johansson. Tkachuk gives over to Schmidt. Now finding Van Bennett. Valinsky tries one again. Off the skater. Rebound by Moser on defensive traffic. Roussel. Whites him down. Rebound by Rodriguez. And now Forbix will have a shot. Final 3 minutes in the third period as he's now finds the JJ Moser. Gives that one off to and save play goes to Bobrovsky. Now it's off to Bennett. Again to Valinsky's. Looks over to Schmidt. Schmidt to Valinsky's finds Listerine. With a shot. Glove save by Johansson. Moser will have a change. And now back to Gonzalez. Time wicking down here with only 2:40 remaining. They're sure enough that they've really been keeping on scores afterwards. They just kept on in longer and longer. There was nothing that they would change it off entirely. Lolas finds Lundell. Lundell shoots. What a stop by Johansson. And you'll cover it in with only 2:22.
That was unbelievable. I was never seen like this play action comes to a big save. That was what I just been noticing for was some hard, incredible action.
And now sending over to center ice, I have one of our big takes in. Mike Sikorsky, what do you have?
Well, guys, I was really showing us here, but I got a great chance here. This one was a wonderful pass plays for Matthew Tkachuk. He has 3 goals in this playoff game, and he had his hat trick for one of the best players of the game here for the Panthers. And now we're really keeping him for a longer possible game, and he's ready to face on against Brady Tkachuk for the Ottawa Senators for the 2 sibling matchups for the Canadian and the American team. There's a lot much more to keep things in, but I'll have to find out if there's any other chance ability. This should be a fun one here for the second game there, guys. Can't wait to see what goes in.
Thank you very much, Michael Sikorsky. We really are ready to see this next performance.
Well, the night of it for Lightning, it was not what they all expected to play on for. But for their next season, we'll continue.
Reiner knocked it down. Here comes McDonough. McDonough, shot, stop made by Bobrovsky. Down under 90 seconds remaining in the third period as Mikola will have that one back in. And it's now finds again to Rodriguez over to Kulikov. He's him out. Shot, save, play, score! Ferguson will finish it off here with a one last playoff goal, but the time is running down short.
Simply getting that rebound in there, and that's what you're supposed to do. Just try to keep your rebound in, and don't let anybody take it off completely of the one time. They're sure enough that you can just really keep it in for Ferguson without only ball. And without rebound, it wasn't always easy enough until they had to finish.
So the Lightning are back down back and forth with only 1:12 remaining, but the time is ticking down. So they'll have to finish it here for the end of the road for Tampa Bay. Now here's Nikita Kucherov. Send the pass over. On a fire shot, he scores! 2 more goals added into the third period while the clock is ticking down. He now has his 3rd in the playoffs.
4th goal in the playoffs. That's tremendous for Jake Kucherov. Great pass by Nikita Kucherov, and he really had that one looking around the pocket.
You know, this is a big target afterwards. The kid, Kucherov, was settling things in. And now with that fire missing the shot, he just got back good. Coming back night towards you. When this is the burn of the goal, but they keep it in. It wasn't always the fact of Jake Goodsell. He has it with his own playoff goal to add it in again. There was no obsession that they really
just 1 minute remaining in the third period of the regulation.
And all with that,
Tampa
it was the end of it. Fires a shot, glove save by Bobrovsky.
His second in the playoffs. Second goal of the game, scored by number 28, Zemgus Girgensons.
Here for
assisted by number 23, Michael Israel.
Goodsell will have it.
And
down to 35 seconds left in the third period. As Ryan McDonough will have it up.
Time of the goal, 18:48 remaining in the
Here's a
third.
set.
Zemgus Girgensons, his second goal of the playoffs, second goal of the game, assisted by Michael Israel. And Nick Paul in the third period at 18 minutes, 48 seconds in the playoffs.
Of the fifth game in the first
also,
round.
Tampa Bay
With
winning goal.
it has already been the end for the Lightning. But we are sure enough to be able to have that one back in. They couldn't beat the second round, and so they have to end things here with one group change. And that was all it did. Tampa Bay Lightning, end of the season. Florida Panthers move on to the next round to face against the Senators.
In the playoffs,
Well, it's all what happens to
18:53.
Bobrovsky. That's
And that's going to end the game. Your final score, Florida Panthers 7 and the Tampa Bay Lightning 4 in
now he's
Game
happy
5.
now. He's going to the second round. Without the Maple Leafs and with all of that, I think it's the new team that we might be seeing things in. Yeah, it's really like all what they do for. Now, we'll just have to go home here and ready for Panthers for their next matchup. Along with my broadcast partner with Mike Sokovsky and Willie and Fan, I'm Boomer. Thank you for joining us for tonight's game, and we'll see you all again soon. Have a great night. All right, thank you so much, your guys. As right now, with the finishing at this point, let's send you down over back to the studio. Alright guys, thank you so much. Time for 3-star players of the game. Mr. Hansen starts his 3rd star of the game, 37 saves in a row. And then across it for the 2nd star is Nick Paul with 2 goals, 1 assist, and 12 hits. He makes that finishing look easier, but the timing was a little short afterwards to have 2 goals but no hat trick of the game. But only the first star player of the game goes to Matthew Tkachuk. He makes it in with the 3 goals of these on his own career in the playoff, and he makes it 6 in a row, and that finish was all that had to be in there. And for that, Florida Panthers are moving on to the next round. Here's how he did with the total statistics. It was 92 total shots on goal, and they only had 16:57 time on attack for Florida. Then it was 36 face-off wins over 31. 2-minute penalty kill. No power play goals with only 9:39. And for the Lightning, they had 129 hits here, with only 89% of the passing, and they had a lot of penalty kills here. And with the misconduct goes to Victor Hedman. He just made that one, he done a mistake here in the 3rd period. He just exited it, and he just cannot believe that he just done it again. Only 39 seconds here with no power play goal. That's all what happens to the Lightning. They just couldn't get it done. And well, with that will do for the end of the game. We'll have one rotation left, as this will be the next game. The Kings against the Oilers, back at Crypto.com Arena. Final game is happening here later tonight, so don't go anywhere. Don't leave the seats here. We have our last one on its way. With all of us here in the studio of our broadcasting partners, I'm Greg, along with Wood Spooney. We hope you enjoyed this one. We'll see you next time for as well as the NHL 25 on the Stanley Cup playoff style. You've been watching tonight's game of the Florida Showdown on EA Sports. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time. And we say so long to Tampa Bay.
If you don't, somebody will.